Hello everybody, welcome back to there it is, to some Fallout 4. Picking up where we left off, we're still clearing out the swampy
You showed up
area.
just in the nick of time.
Did I?
You looking for a new place to settle?
Could be. Why? Do you know somewhere good?
What are you looking for?
I just want to find someplace safe to live, without these assholes trying to kill me all the time. Why? Do you know of a good place?
I sure do.
Alright, now where should we send her? I mean, you know what, let's send her to Sunshine Tidings, just because that's where I
See you
have
there
like
in
a
a day
bunch
or
of
two.
just like random people that I use for supply lines, so let's just send her there. I'm not sure I've ever had that. Like, I've had encounters with settlers before. I think that's the first time I've actually had the option to recruit them. I even think that at some point we, okay, I'm playing Fallout, not Starfield. Playing Fallout, not Starfield. Man, that's really gonna screw me up, I feel. Alright. So yeah, as I said, been playing Starfield. Pretty good so far. Been doing a few of the main quests, because a couple of things that, I started it, I played for a bit, and then I watched a couple of things I wish I knew before starting and whatnot, and tips and tricks for early game and whatnot. And one fairly consistent one was play the game up until a certain story mission. Some of them wouldn't even give the name of the story mission, but I don't know why. It doesn't really give away anything. I mean, you're in space and the mission is called Into the Unknown. I mean, it could mean a huge amount of things. So that's what I've been working towards. Also, turns out super early on in the quest line, like insanely early, because there was like two things where it's like, because whenever you survey a planet, you get like an actual physical item called survey data for the planet that you can sell. But there's a person that will buy it for more than anyone else, and you actually meet them at more or less the same time that you get the Valkyrie behind you. More or less the same time that you get that quest, so actually knocked out two birds with one stone. Also getting companions. There's only like 4 companions in that game, which is interesting. Well, I mean, phrase that. I don't think the companions, or at least I haven't seen or read anything so far that says companions give you perks like they do here. There are skill magazines, though. I found a few of those, I think 4 or 5 of them. Weirdly enough, not necessarily in important locations. One of the perks that I took at the beginning was the Dream Home perk, because I like having places to live. I actually took like 3 of probably like the weirdest perks that there is, but because I took the Dream Home kid stuff, which just basically means your parents are alive and you can go see them, and as it turns out, they show up during certain things, like I was just doing one of the main quests there, and they just showed up at where I work, and it's like, oh, at like the group that I work with, they just kind of showed up, and the person was like, well, they were your parents, so I assumed it was fine to let them in. And it's like, I mean, yeah. And then I took the Adoring Fan perk, because I figured, hey, if it... Ow. Really? Because I was like, knowing me, I'm not going to really focus on companions or anything right away. So, I mean, I may as well get this, because then I should get a companion right away who will do whatever, right? So yeah, those are the 3 perks I took in the beginning. But anyway. Oh, this is this place. I think we even had a quest marker for this place. Although I thought all the ghouls. Also no VATS
Engaging defensive countermeasures.
in Starfield, which is brutally obvious at times. You know, when I get some melee enemies on me. But yeah, 4 romanceable companions. So there is probably other named ones, and I think that there's other ones that you can name yourself. Because I was watching one video there, and the person
Got
had
It was not locked at all.
what was it?
Oh,
Amelia
wait.
Earhart,
You did this?
I think was the name of one of his crew members. Which seems unlikely that, I mean, I guess unless there's a story behind why she calls herself that. Anyway, you'll notice that the ghouls here are pink.
A ghoul. Most
Good
intriguing.
lord.
Starting
And
recording.
taking quite a bit of damage. And if you recall, we had an encounter with a group of raiders that had that after we killed them all, we pay. Or I know that's right, they were already dead. And when we looted their bodies, we had an intervention note, and they were talking about the pink paste that he got at the school. Well, this would be that school, and also why I didn't actually want that, and also why these guys are all pink.
Good morning, teachers and students. It is a fabulous Wednesday here at Suffolk County Charter School. The Glee Club is having their seasonal bake sale today, so stop by and show your support so we can send our team to the regionals. Remember, actual baked goods are forbidden on school grounds, so they will be selling colorful cups for your food paste. Oh, also, we will be having a school assembly during second period tomorrow on the dangers of strangers by Jangles, the moon monkey himself. Once again, we would like to thank our benefactors from the NAPP program for allowing us to have such a big star come and speak to you kids. We owe our benefactors strict adherence to the rules they have set forth. This is Principal Hudson, signing off. Have a great day.
So anyway, here's the food paste that they have. Now, it doesn't affect us in any way, like the way that they make it seem. It gives us 50, well, I mean, obviously it gives us stuff. It gives us 50 HP and 1 endurance, which, you know, so it heals us for 50. It gives us 1 endurance. I don't know how long it lasts for, but that's it. There's no, like, I don't think there's an addiction to it. I've never actually ate it, but I don't think there's an addiction component to it, like, would be suggested by the intervention note we found. We will find out more about this stuff as we go through this school. And this school may very well be it for this part, by the way. Like, we may just end up in this school. That's it. Well, I mean, we are in the school. I guess end up isn't the right way. But yeah, anyway. So, Starfield, right? Yeah, 4 romanceable companions. Which I feel is kind of weird. But, was watching, what was it? I don't remember what channel it was. But they were talking about some kind of, also that isn't flashlight in this game. But yeah, they were talking about some kind of controversy with it, and he was going through reviews, and he was like, yeah, you know, like, because they were said that people were review bombing it because of whatever the fuck the controversy was. I don't remember, because it was, I mean, it was so unimportant that it barely came up in the video about review bombing due to a controversy. Like, that's how unimportant it was. But yeah, he was going through some of the reviews while he was talking about it, and he's like most of these reviews have nothing to do with this so-called controversy and review bombing. I mean, most of the reviews were just because, you know, the game wasn't great, which, to be fair, I've been enjoying the game. I went into it expecting basically this game with a space skin over it.
Bye. Identity
and that's
unknown.
more
Resuming combat
and that's more or
operations.
less what I got. I mean, it's nothing spectacular. If you like Fallout and Skyrim and that, odds are you'll like it. Just don't go into it expecting them to reimagine everything, you know? Like, if you just go into it expecting basically another Fallout game or something, you'll probably enjoy it like I did. I mean, it's not groundbreaking or anything. It's nothing new. I mean, I think they even used the same engine as Fallout 4. I think they like upgraded it, but it's still the same engine overall. Like, I think on the PC, even some of the console commands that you get or that you have in Fallout still work in Starfield. Like, that's because it's the same engine. Like, there are some very noticeable differences though, and I feel like some of them are like takeaways from feedback on like Fallout and that. Like, for when they have outpost building, you are limited to I think 8 outposts, but I haven't even built one yet, so that number may not be what that number means. Maybe it's I have enough resources to build 8 outposts. Maybe it's 8 outposts per planet. I don't know. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff. I feel like it's a better No Man's Sky, if I'm being honest. Like, don't get me wrong, I like No Man's Sky, but there's a lot of crap, right? Like, for example, they both have
It is opening.
scanning stuff on planets in order to survey the planet. And I actually just mentioned planet surveys earlier, right? Now, in No Man's Sky, you have to traverse the entire planet. You have, I think, a little bit of knowledge on where stuff that you haven't found is, but, you know, it's still a giant planet to explore, right? Now, the way that... Wow, it froze that guy right in the air. Now, the way that the planet system in Starfield works, based on my understanding, is when you land on a planet, it will generate a zone. And in that zone, and that zone will not connect to anything else. So, like, for example, like I said, I took the Dream Home perk, so I have a house on a planet. Yeah, I can't even loot this guy. Based on the map of that planet, there is an abandoned mining facility, abandoned fracking facility. There's some kind of facility not very far away from my house on the world map, to the southwest of my house. But if I land at my house, it doesn't matter how far southwest I go, I will never find that facility. If I land somewhere, take off from my ship, land on the map 2 inches away from it, 2 inches to, let's say, the west of where I just took off from, if I head east, I will never find that other landing zone or any of the things that are there. Now, you might think, oh, well, that's kind of shitty. Personally, I prefer it. You still get a lot of repeating things, but you just don't have to land, right? And each planet has like a certain number of things that you can get, and when you're outside the planet, you can see all the different biomes, and if you click on a biome, it'll tell you whether or not you've scanned all of the flora or fauna in that biome. So that you know, so that you can just like, oh, I'm missing one thing, where do I gotta land to get it, right? Alright, complaint letter draft. Principal Hudson, I am sorry to ask, but where's the integrity of this school gone? Forcing all teachers and students to consume nothing but flavorless pink goo is inhumane and demoralizing. Food is an avenue of socialization for our students' growing minds, and they are growing restless of the pace. Nothing else, I am sure you have noticed the growing rate of visits to your office for misbehavior. Also, I could almost swear everyone seems a little bit pinker after a week of eating this stuff. Please, I ask that we terminate this mistake of an experiment and find alternative funding opportunities for the school. So yeah, the school is being paid basically to allow them to run this test on their kids. But yeah, so I honestly prefer it that way because like when you play No Man's Sky, there's still a lot of empty space, but it's a lot of empty space. Like, I would much rather have a small area that I can explore on each planet that has like, you know, the biome and the and not to mention each planet has more than one biome, which is, you know, more than any planet in Starfield, or not in Starfield, in No Man's Sky, which every planet is like homogeneous across the entire surface. But yeah, it's so I'd much rather have like a few small areas that I can explore. Technically, you have an infinite amount of areas because you can land anywhere on the planet. It'll just generate a zone around that based on the planet and where you landed. Did I kill this guy? I did not. Okay, I think that's the... Yeah, that's where I came from. Hopefully there's none to my right. Damn it. But yeah, so I find that better. Ship combat, I feel, is... I don't know, I honestly can't really remember too much of my ship combat in No Man's Sky. And it's not like fantastic in Starfield. It's not bad. I mean, it's pretty much exactly what you would think. It's a thing that you do. But they didn't go like super in depth into it. I mean, like, you have to like power up your systems and like change your power levels in the different systems to make like your gun stronger, your shield stronger, your engines faster, whatever, right? And you can do that on the fly in combat, which is cool. But so far, I haven't really got into a hard enough fight, I think, for it to make too much of a difference. And then, yeah, when you're running around exploring and that, like, when you're flying your ship in space, you don't get anywhere. Like, I'm not gonna lie. It would take, like, but at the same time, when you look at a thing, you can just travel to it. So, like, for example, I needed to get to a space station. I took off from the planet. I looked, the space station was a huge distance away. And I was like, oh my god. But then I looked again, and it's like, travel. So I was like, alright, hit the button, boom, at the space station. Still a little ways away, but, you know, there, right? Like, I also had a mission to murder some space pirates. So I was like, alright, took off from the planet, looked around, man, they're really far. I was like, oh, they're that direction. Started flying, was taking forever to get there. Turned on my scanner. Oh, I can just travel directly to them.
That's it.
And then bam, I was in combat. Like, oh, actually, fuck off. And then I did my fight, and then I went back. Right, like, it's also this screen right here, exactly the same. Like, the Protectron holotape that I got gives you, any time that you hack into like a robot's terminal, it will give you the same options. You can disable its combat inhibitors, override alliance parameters, and activate unit. Like, it's identical to what you just saw there. But anyway, yeah, so far I'm enjoying it. Once again, though, went into it not expecting more than just a Fallout game with a space theme. That's more or less what I got. I'm happy with it. Cool thing, though, when you're in a zero-G environment, if you use a laser weapon, you just fire it. If you use a ballistic weapon, though, firing it actually makes you go backwards. Because obviously there's kickback on a ballistic weapon, whereas there isn't any on a laser weapon, which I thought was neat. But yeah, so they have magazines. Like, they have like the exact same thing they have here with their magazines. And
again, I have survived the hostility.
Curie had got hit, and I was still considered hidden. But yeah, they have magazines, same as here. But like, I landed at my house, went to which is not a perk that you have to take. I don't know if the house exists outside of Like, if you don't have that perk, I don't know if that house exists. But, like, a facility not very far away from my house had one of the magazines in it. And I was like, that's weird, because as far as I knew, it was just like a random facility. Not like... Now, to be fair, if I didn't have the house perk, that landing zone may still be there, but registered underneath that facility's name instead of underneath my house. But, you know. Also, they did the same thing that they did in this game. Is it this game? Yeah. Where you can't pick locks if you don't have, like, I can't try a master level lock unless I have the master level lock picking, which I do have now. I got that as quickly as I could. Volt. No. Field?
I'm in.
Yep. But yeah, the lock picking in there is really weird. It's a puzzle. Ranges in difficulty. The higher difficulties are actually harder. Unlike in this game where, you know, where it's basically the same. Stealth Boy, overdue book. No matter what level you're at, you just fiddle with the thing until it opens. That one there, it actually has like a puzzle mechanic to the lockpicking, which is nice. Although I read a lot of things that people were complaining about running out of lockpicks in that game. They're called digipicks in that game. I haven't really had that issue. I have been finding... I mean, I don't have like 100 of them or a couple hundred of them like I do in this game or in Skyrim. So, I mean, they are rarer. But, I still am definitely finding more than I'm using. So, I don't...
Being shot at. Enemy unknown.
Yeah, that's not being shot at, Kiri. That's being punched. And it's also not enemy unknown. You got punched in the face. I'm sure you know who did it. But yeah, I've definitely been finding more. I mean, I think I'm up to like 14 digipicks right now. Because, I mean, most locations that I've been to that have things to pick lock, or that have locks that you need to pick, have had some lock picks there, had some digipicks in it, so. But yeah, it was funny watching that video and seeing them read through some of the things, because a lot of people were like complaining that it's basically the same as Fallout and that, and I was like, yeah, it was Bethesda. They've been working on it since, I think, Skyrim came out before Fallout 4, right? So I think like Fallout 4 ended and they started working on Starfield. So it's like, did you expect it not to be Fallout 4? Like, what did you expect it to be? Because I went into it expecting it to be Fallout 4, or basically Fallout 4, and it more or less is. I mean, so far, the main issue that I have with it is, you know how when I'm placing items in this game, in build mode, and you're only allowed to use the top shelf of basically anything, unless you really manage to fiddle with it, like crouch down, pick it up, aim your camera just right, it might snap onto a different shelf. Yeah, that's still a thing. I can use more shelves than just the top one now. I mean, the house I bought has these really cool shelves in it, and I managed to put some decorations up. It also does still have that thing, though, where it loads them in a weird way, so, like, I'll come home, and, like, some of the decoration I put up will be halfway through the shelf I put them on. But it seems to be, like, as soon as I pick them up, they obviously pop out of the shelf and snap to it properly, and I can place them back where they were, and then they don't fall again. So that's something, I guess, but... Alright, so this is just a blank computer. Is this the office, maybe?
Return on fire.
Oof, should have my gun ready.
I am still in touch.
Don't know why I didn't. Ammo, on the other hand, though, that's something I fucking chew through in that game. Granted, I don't have any good single-shot weapons as of yet. It's pretty much all automatics for me. I had a good single shot, and then I got something that was definitely better. Because until I upgrade my weapon crafting skills, there's not a whole lot that I can modify myself. So basically, I have to find the gun that has. Whoops, didn't want that. That has the more of the modifications I want than the one I had, which unfortunately, the one I had was semi-auto, but the one I picked up had other modifications that were definitely better, but was automatic. And yeah. Alright, Principal Hudson. Again, I thank you for your school's willingness to participate in the Nutritional Alternative PACE program, or NAP for short. You and your students are doing a service to this country by helping us push the limits of our knowledge of food and nutritional science. During the period of this program, nothing but naps should be served to the students. No outside food should be tolerated on school grounds. We will be sending scientists periodically to observe reactions to the nap and ensure proper testing conditions. Non-compliance will result in funds revoked, so please make sure your faculty and students remain obedient. But yeah, so like I'll have like 100 bullets or like 300 bullets in that one gun that I got, and it'll be gone in like 3 firefights, because the way that they do damage in that game is very similar to the way they do damage in this game with the weapon crafting, where if you have an automatic receiver in your gun, the bullet damage drops significantly, whereas a semi-automatic one will go up. So like it'll go from like 13 damage per shot down to like 3 from semi-auto to automatic. So now, granted, the fire rate on these guns is insane. So
Good morning, teachers and students. It is another great week here at Suffolk County Charter School. I hope everyone is getting their costumes together for the annual Halloween festival. I would like to take this opportunity to remind you that no outside food is to be brought on campus as of this week. This goes for faculty as well as students. We have received generous donations for our implementation of the Nutrition Alternative PACE program. We owe our benefactors strict adherence to the rules they have set forth. Thank you for your attention. This is Principal Hudson signing off.
well, some of that was the same, but yeah, I mean, you get a bunch of funding for that. I mean, assuming the pace doesn't damage the students, which I don't remember what it did to them. Like, I'm sure that we find a holotape here or a terminal or something that gives more of a negative effect than, oh, the kids are becoming restless because they're eating the same thing every day. I mean, because that could just be because they've been eating the same thing every day and not have anything to do with the paste itself. Also, how the fuck do I go upstairs here? I know that we can get upstairs. I don't think I can. Oh, okay. Apparently you jump. I'm sure that there's a different way to get up here, because I don't think that that's correct, but excuse me, Carrie. I think I saw another one through there. It is nice that some of these ghouls are so dense. They just lie there. Hang on. I don't know if you guys can hear those dickheads mowing the lawn, but I sure can. Can't help but feel like if I can hear it through my headphones, you can probably hear it through the mic. Alright.
Sweet.
They got some cool looking guns in Starfield, though. I mean, they did a good job with the weapon design. At least for the most part. I mean, like, I got this really badass looking Magnum, basically. It's basically a Desert Eagle. They call it something different, but I'm pretty sure, I can't remember what it's called. It's like something like relating to Desert Eagle, I think. And it's really powerful, but it when you put the long barrel on it, it doesn't extend like the entire barrel. It basically Can't like, oh, we can inspect. Okay, how about we just go with a pistol? So like you see how like just before the suppressor, right? Like the piece that's attached to the barrel of my pistol, right? How it's basically the same size as the barrel of my pistol. Now imagine, so like looking down there, like imagine the circle where the suppressor is, and that's all that was. Like it was that size. Like it was literally just the barrel and not like the covering over it as well. Now thankfully using the gun, I can't see that part of it, so it's fine. I'll take the increased range, but yeah, for the most part, the weapon design is pretty good. But yeah, I've been enjoying it quite a bit. And it always amuses me to see reviews of games and what people actually have to say of them. Which is why, like, for the most part, if I'm planning on buying a game and I'm like on the fence about it, like Starfield wasn't really on the fence about it. It's a Bethesda. It's a Bethesda game. I knew what I was getting going into it, and I knew that I would enjoy it, right? So I didn't really worry about any reviews or anything about it because I knew that it was one that I would get. But other games, you know, where it's like, I don't know, I really want to wait for some reviews and that to come out. There are only like certain reviewers, like for example, Angry Joe. Whether or not I agree with them is one thing, but when he does his reviews, he will explain why he doesn't like things, right? Where it's like, oh, this was crap, and then he'll go into detail about why that was crap, which is very useful to me because then because there's been multiple times where like he's like, this is why it's crap, and I'm like, fucking Kiri, and I was like, that's why it's crap, but that's great, that's exactly what I want, right? And that's happened multiple times. So like when I read reviews online too, if it's just like a short review, I will completely ignore it. Like I won't even bother if it's only like a couple sentences long. Even if I bother to read it, it's not going to play a part in my decision to buy the game because I know that person didn't care. Like because I don't know why that person thinks that, right? So like reviews I watch or read, I want details about why. You know, certain things like, oh, the graphics are bad. It's like, all right, well, that's an obvious one. You don't really need to explain why you think the graphics are bad. Damn it. I was really hoping I did stand on that ledge. I guess we'll just have to go around. But when it's something where it's like, oh, combat sucks. Why? Like, why does the combat suck? Like, and it's one of those things where it's like, why does the combat suck? And is that a thing that's like a PC problem and not necessarily going to be an issue on the Xbox, right? Like, there's a lot of people that are having problems with Starfield on a computer, and apparently the fucker from Bethesda said something about how they might need an upgrade. Like, a lot of these people aren't going to have, like, high-end parts and that in their computer already. Like, hey, buddy. Is that a... It's not. Although it looks like there is one in there. So I mean, that was kind of like a douchey move. It's like, yeah. But, you know, obviously, on an Xbox, it's already optimized for me. I don't need to worry about changing anything. One of the reasons why I prefer consoles, and I've had zero issues with any graphics related anything. Loading, anything. But yeah, so it's always funny to see reviews that are like 2 sentences long, and it's like, this thing is crap, and then like when it's in like a game I played and it's like, all right, but it's not crap. Like, what were you doing? Because I've also seen lots of reviews where, well, maybe not lots, but some reviews where people will go into detail and somebody else will like comment on the review or something. It's like, dude, why are you doing that? You should be doing this instead. And the guy's like, oh, motherfucker, like, that's so much better. Although that happens a huge amount, but it does happen. Man, a lot of Vault-Tec lunchboxes, granted. We are in a school. That makes sense. Oh, is this the fucking... Oh, I needed to take the elevator from the basement. That's how I get here. Oh, I didn't think of that. Man, I didn't take the elevator. You know, to be fair, I didn't even think of it when I saw the elevator down there that I hadn't seen an elevator up here. Didn't even register that I hadn't seen the elevator up here where it would connect. But yeah, anyway, so Fallout 4, right? Evil school, food paste. I mean, I can understand that. Like, having to eat the same thing every day. I mean, I love hamburgers, cheeseburgers, right? Like I say that I would eat a cheeseburger every day for the rest of my life and be happy. I doubt it. As much as I...
Oh, there is to
Oh,
be
shit.
fighting.
Like, as much as I love burgers, I imagine actually eating one every day for the rest of my life would probably get to me. I have had it multiple days in a row without it getting to me, but... Alright, let's... There we go. But yeah, I have had burgers multiple days in a row without... I mean, technically every time that I have burgers at home, I have it at least 2 days in a row because just cook them all at once and then, you know, there's leftovers, right? Man, I got my ass kicked in that room. But yeah, I mean, and then you take that, you know, like, I know that I wouldn't like burgers every day, even though I love burgers. Now you take that and apply it to kids, and a food that apparently is tasteless. I mean, you're really gonna have, I mean, like, could I eat food paste for a month or more? I mean, yeah, probably. I'm an adult. Hey, there's one of the things we wanted out of here. More or less the only, like, super important thing out of here. 1% chance of avoiding all damage from an attack, which I think is what every Unstoppables magazine gives you, but obviously every one you pick up, that odds increase.
Happy Friday all. The NAPP program launched this week with success, but not without problems. I hate to have to throw away your mother's carefully packed lunches, but I am afraid we must put our foot down on this issue. I am assured all of you will get used to the flavor of the paste. Also, I have been informed that flavor varieties will be on their way pending continued success of the program. How exciting! To those complaining, I will repeat. There are absolutely no psychological or physical side effects from participation in the NAPP. Any observed effect is assuredly psychosomatic and possibly related to a lack of trust in the government. Remember, our participation in the NAPP not only helps our school, but in the long run benefits our nation. Thank you for your attention. This is Principal Hudson, signing off.
Yeah, you shouldn't be experimenting on kids. But anyway, yeah, I mean, I'd do it. I mean, if somebody came to me and was like, hey, eat this, like, weird paste every day for a month and let us observe what effects it has, I'd be like, yeah, alright. I mean, I'd be like, is it harmful? Shouldn't be. Alright, sure. Why not? Fuck it, right? It's like, will I get paid? Yeah, alright. Done deal then. Alright, well, we picked up some overdue books, so let's throw those in there. Does this have anything good in it? Food paste, food paste, food paste. Rocket, ship, kickball, and pen. Wow, a lot of food paste. Alright, and I think that's it for this place. I mean, we went to the basement, we went to the second floor. I'm pretty sure we got all the rooms cleared. If not, it has to be close. Unfortunately, my thing here isn't loading to search for it. Hang on. Let's see here. Just do this a little differently. Alright, 16 food paste, 12 lunch boxes, 5 overdue books, 3 school announcements, Unstoppables. Oh, that's right. I don't think I picked up that note that we found. In the southwest corner. I think it was in this room here. Yeah, we did. Mr. Henderson, I hate to have to remind you again, but you failed to meet your quota last month. We still have spots to fill in. Fill in for what? Anyway. Well, apparently you can teleport into the room by using the book return terminal to get past the chain door instead of going around like I did. And apparently none of the pink ghouls will respawn, so if I come back here later, just the big glowing one and the rad roaches will come back. Apparently Curie was supposed to have some unique dialogue when we got here, and I don't know if just maybe I missed it, but apparently she knows about this experiment. Alright, let's see. How long have we been going? Yeah, that's an entire part, just like I thought it would be. But I do want to go fight something here. Now, apparently, over this direction, we can get a super mutant behemoth. Said between here and Gunner's Plaza. Now, since we cleared Gunner's Plaza, is that not Gunner's Plaza? Is it? Yeah, that's Gunner's Plaza. I mean, we were at Gunner's Plaza at some point. Maybe we saw the behemoth and killed it, or maybe it's just not here. I mean, it can spawn here. I guess it's not a guarantee. Like in Fallout 3, I do believe there's an achievement tied to killing all the behemoths, but they were like guaranteed spawns at certain locations. Actually, to be fair, it may not have even been for killing all the... It may have just been for killing a certain number of them, but either way, I'm pretty sure in Fallout 3, they were all, they had all guaranteed spawn locations. Anyway, yeah, that'll be it for this part. We explored the weird school full of pink ghouls. Not a super interesting one, mostly me talking about Starfield, so hopefully that didn't annoy you guys, but... Anyway, we only have, outside of the vault, that's DLC, we actually only have one other location to explore down here, so let me see. If this, like how much, Oh god, it's towards them too. Let's see, how much is here? Oh, come on. Scroll down, you pricks. Yeah, we'll go do it. Why not? It doesn't seem like there's a whole lot there, so we may as well, right?
Threat analysis. Yellow. Alert. Hostile detected. Lethal force.
Oof.
Authorized for all units.
No. Yeah, you go, robot. Got punched in the face, but hey. It's weird. Also weird that there's just like a little skull here. Do I need anything from Rust Devils? I don't think so.
Analysis.
I
Yellow.
suppose.
Potential weapons. Free.
Oh god, is oh my lord. There was another robot. That didn't keep up. Well, that should do it. Oof.
Nuclear injuries were supposed to be the greatest threat up here.
Yeah, not so much anymore. In fact, I'm not entirely... Well, I guess it depends on what you consider threat. Like, most common? Definitely not.
Advised to stand clear of weapons. Discharge.
I imagine... vehicular, you know, is probably... I don't know if it's... I don't know. I feel like that's one of those things where it's like, if you take it, like, per death, it's probably fairly high on the list, just because it's, more likely to have multiple people involved in it, but whereas something like, you know, heart disease, right, probably a bigger threat. Hey, look at that, I was far enough away not to take damage. But hey, got rid of the Mirelurk Queen. Heavy, oh wait, I think I still need heavy leather. I think leather is like one of the, because I remember now that I had like really weird.
Excuse me. There is a message.
Ow. Yeah, I actually need heavy and sturdy leather. Yeah, you go, Sentry Bot. Dude, careful with the fucking hailfire missiles here.
Green. Neutralization operation complete.
So anyway, this is the Murkwater construction site, which doesn't have a whole lot to it. Oh, dude, it's an actual location. I didn't even know that it was a location like this. What the fuck would you build? I guess you could build like a little water depot here if you wanted to, right? I mean, I didn't know this was a settlement. It's not very big. And not to mention it's in a swamp. With like one little shitty shack. I mean, can't get rid of that machine either. I imagine you can't get rid of the skeleton. Oh, I guess it has 2 shitty shacks, not just one. I mean, even cleared out like this, I mean... Yeah, I mean, like, if you could fix up these houses, maybe... But I mean, like, you've seen the patch job I've done on houses like this before. This is a bit much of an ask to do something like that. And obviously, this shack is just not even worth... I mean, I don't think this shack was ever completed. So, I mean... Yeah, don't expect me to be doing a building episode for this one. Because I don't see the point. I mean, like I said, you could probably, if we go to resources, water... Now I don't even have enough to see if it would work. Like, you could probably put, like, water pumps in here and make it, like, a water producing area, but... Yeah, what a worthless... What a worthless build site. Like, absolutely worthless, I think. I feel. Alright. Well, there we go. Let's look at our map. Look at that. Got everything except for the western side of the map cleared. Like, that's pretty fucking good. Because I don't think that there's anything out in the water to the east past Spectacle Island. I think the only things that we have left that aren't along the western portion of the map there are either locations that we can't get to without progressing the story. And then there's like the 2 location, or it's DLC, like the Vault. Or it's the Brotherhood, like the Boston Airport, and there's like the Boston Airport is here. There's some stuff there that we can get, including, and like obviously we haven't been on the blimp yet, and then there's like a fort over here, but like one, like your first mission, I think, once you go see the Brotherhood, is to go and clear out this fort. So I mean, I'm not too worried about it. So yeah, I guess next part will be look at all these locations we've cleared, and if it's marked on here, we've cleared it. I am pretty sure that we haven't missed any. Oh look, there's another settlement over here, Somerville Place. Oh, I think that's actually one of the ones that Preston sent us to, right? Yeah, cool, problem. Vault 88, Shadow of Steel, Find Virgil. Yeah, I mean, I think this one will finish once we go talk to Dan's. But yeah, next time we will start heading down. We'll either start at the top here, because we did this, but then there's a couple locations up here. So we'll either start at the top and work our way down, or since we're already down here, we may actually come over to Somerville Place and just like slowly work our way up, trying to skirt the glowing sea so that we don't, go into it early or something, And since we have a quest for Somerville Palace and we're already down here, that's probably what we'll do. So I think that's what the plan will be for next part. Is to go over to Somerville Place, see what they need, and then start working our way up the western side of the map to see, and try and stay out of the glowing sea as much as possible. So thanks everybody for watching, and hopefully by the time we make it to the top of the western part of the map and have all these locations cleared, Curie will have given us our perk so that we can go grab Dance, and then, because Dance shouldn't take too long to max out, I don't think, since once we go and get him, we'll use him as a companion and do a bunch of Brotherhood stuff, which should raise his affinity quite easily. So thanks everybody for watching, and I will see you on Friday for more.